Kelvin Mellor, how good is it when you get a bit of a head of steam together in football? I know it can very quickly change, and I know you've got to try and keep level-headed about it, but it must make a massive difference to win 3 league games on the spin.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking about it over the weekend. To myself, I was thinking exactly what you said. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Football's brutal. It'll bite you back, and you'll be soon dipping again. It's just one of them high and low. You're kind of just trying to stay medium and keep that momentum going, and try and keep winning as many as possible.
That we take things one game at a time is very commonly talked about. Sometimes is that focus on those details, maybe even the next tackle or the next pass or whatever it is, does that keep you in the moment? Does that stop you? Managers talk about kind of outside noise. Does that cancel all of that stuff out? Definitely,
yeah. On Saturday, I felt that was the case when we were 1-0 up. It's obviously it's a tough scoreline to be at, because obviously they score, it completely changes the game. We score, you still like kind of but at the same time, I got a bit of stick from their fans, and I was just trying to block the noise out from the side and concentrate on my job, and just try and help people as much as possible, talking. Dan Martin especially, I thought he had a very, very good game, and I just think you just stick together, stick as a unit, and well, we've seen the game through and won 1-0, and they're the games that are brilliant. The 1-0 wins are great with a clean sheet, and obviously the 3 points.
Clearly every personality is different in a changing room. If we're talking generally though, does that ability to focus on the job in hand and kind of have tunnel vision come with experience?
Definitely. Some players mature earlier than others, but with the younger age you kind of are a bit naive sometimes, and a little thing will switch you off and lack that concentration, and you just got to communicate on the pitch and try and stay as organised as possible to give you a good base.
At this point in the season, I hear a divide between we're not looking at the league table and it's kind of panned out a little bit and we know where we are. Does that depend on where you are in the league table? If you're doing all right, you look at it, and if you're not, maybe you don't?
Not really, because not so long ago we played Notts County away, and I think we were 2 points off the top or something like that, and it quickly changed. We dropped down the table, and now we've picked up the form again. It just shows if you have a good month or two, the table's that tight, so it just quickly changes. And while you're winning games, you've just got to try and keep that momentum and kind of not look at the table at the same time as look at the table, if that makes sense.
I've heard a bit in the last week or so about fixture congestion and workload on players, and I think there was a report came out from the PFA about the number of games that players had to play. When you've been winning, does Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday suddenly feel like an opportunity?
It's tough, that is, because obviously you train less when it's Saturday, Tuesday, but at the same time, obviously you're playing games, and it's tough on the body. Obviously at the start of the season they were adding silly amounts of time on, and that would have played a big part in it if that would have carried on now. But obviously they've cut that down, which I'm very thankful of. And I think you just, like I said, that winning momentum just got to keep striving forward, keep staying positive, and confidence grows in the games, and you take that into each game, and you see that through.
After Wimbledon next, I know in these interviews away form was something that's been talked about a few times this season before going to Grimsby and getting a second away league win. How important is it to everybody that you don't rely on the points you get at home and you can kind of chip in away from home?
No, we know Wimbledon's going to be a tough game. It's a long journey and whatnot. But like you say, we went to Grimsby, we shut them up, and hoping to do the same thing with Wimbledon. Obviously their home form isn't the best, but their away form is really good. So it's a game we're looking to win. We're going there to win, and hopefully come away with the win.
Can it come down to the way you play sometimes? Is the way that some teams play suited to playing away from home, maybe counter-attack, whatever it may be?
Sometimes, obviously depends on their formation and how they set up. but we've just got to concentrate on ourselves and try and implement our game, what we can do going forward, and really hurting teams. And we've shown that in the last month or so, especially. We've had lots of chances and stuff like that. So I don't see why we can't go there and win.
What's the competition like within this group of players? I'm thinking about Matt Lowe having a stint playing right back and you were on the bench, and then Matt's not in the team at the weekend and you come in to start. You mentioned Dan Martin earlier. Him and Ben Woods maybe not at the start of the season would have been the first choice central midfield pairing, but players have been out injured. There might not be loads and loads and loads of options and loads of players in there, but how much versatility is there in there, and how much are players stepping up when they're called upon?
There's a lot. There's a lot of competition, and obviously, looking from the outside, Matt Lowe playing right back, it looks mad because obviously he is a striker, but he's stepped up and he's done brilliant since he came in there. I can't complain one bit about his performances because he's been very good, and that just shows the depth of the squad. And you're asking players to play in positions where it's not their main position, but they're doing a job for the team, and that's what lads are doing. They're stepping up. Like you said about Dan, obviously he's young, he's got great potential, and he's doing a brilliant job in there with Ben as well. Not played really any league games before, and they're both kind of got a decent partnership going on. And it's showing that.
And if Matt Lowe shows promise as a right back, have you knocked on the manager's door and said, when do I get a go at centre forward?
We've asked the question about swapping shirts.